There's more sun up there on the hill, I think. Dodge back down there.
Hello and welcome to Ulverstone for the second game of our doubleheader in the Northwest Football League, the men's clash between Ulverstone and Devonport, a top-of-the-table clash between two undefeated teams. Jacob Dool here, joined by Damien Gill. Damien, an exciting game to be here for.
Very much so, Jacob. Ball's held up by umpire Clark. Up it goes and the Rucks go at it. Down at the floor now. It's low with the clearance. Didn't go too far. They wrestle. It's black and white jumpers extracting it. Bouncing ball towards their end. Castles runs out to meet it. Hands off. Finds a target in Bramich. They go inside forward 50 now and it'll be juggled. It's Hay who completes the grab. Hay now from half back. Finds a target he likes in Claridge. Claridge shifts out to the wing. Looking for McGurk. Or rather, Hazelwood. It's swung back in by Keegan Lowe. Couple of touches early. Looking for Cameron. Not quite. Bounces off the chest of Douglas. Douglas hemmed in the pocket and had too much to do. Kicks it out on the full.
Not the result they were looking for, but all the key movers getting their hands on the ball there for Devonport. Keegan Lowe and Kai Cameron, both becoming staples of Tasmania's Senior Talent Academy. Lenny Douglas, the same for Tassie's under-18s, as Ulverstone now look to drive out of the back line. Kick hugs the boundary line just through the hands of Roots. Coming through there for Devonport was Derrico, but it's just bundled over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Healthy crowd there, Jacob, out near the Boozer at Ulverstone. Lovely day on the Sunshine Coast of northwest Tasmania as it comes on in. The ruckman claims it, comes out the back. Spying this one off was Elmo. He becomes tackler in the end and brings it down. Ball up, edge of the square.
Elmer, another of those young guns for Devonport, who's really taken his game to another level as the ball goes up. Bunted Ulverstone's way, but it's a real scrap in there. Trying to burst through was DeVries, but can't collect it. Heads over the footy and fighting hard. The umpire lets them play, and ultimately it falls Devonport's way. They're able to break out. Blair Ryan drives it inside 50 right in deep, but another intercept mark, Jet McGurk on that occasion, and Ulverstone will look to repel. A good releasing kick out to Slater. Looks to move it on quickly. Kicks towards centre wing. Strong fly and grab there. Devonport will take it back through Caleb Van Buren, the skipper. Had another strong start to the season here. Just chips that one tight along the boundary again. Can't quite be brought down by Elmer. And once again, have a repeat boundary thrown in about the same spot there on the half-forward line for the Magpies.
They'll be pretty happy with this, the home side. They've held up reasonably well so far. On the ball here, it's Ryan who breezes through. Frightens Elmer. Elmer inside 50. Kicking for Cameron, not quite. Spying it off was Douglas. There'll be a ball up forward 50 for the Magpies. It goes again. Cameron becomes a ruckman this time. He fists it into the umpire, breezing through. Castle's almost. It's just put out of there by Ulverstone, but it'll come back quick smart through Kelly.
Kelly sends it back towards this near half-forward flank, but Ulverstone do well to pick it up and clear once again. It's a back-and-forth contest so far, juggled but not taken by Jordan Kelly. And he's wrapped up, unable to get away. As he said, Ulverstone would have to be pretty happy so far. Devonport certainly the more favoured team, but both teams 5-0 to start the season, so a chance to make a real statement here for the Robins as that one's batted forward in their direction but cleared by Devonport. They come down with it again in the middle of the ground, although it's still a scrap. Off the deck, the way of the Robins, right up to the teeth of the forward 50. Devonport just scrapping and clawing. It's Bayard comes and collects and gives a quick handball off. Now it comes out to Elmer. He powers down the wing. Looking for a target, and he finds one there on the second grab. Bringing it down is Kelly. Dances around his man, but can't quite keep it in play. Feels like we just keep on ending up in the same place here. Both teams ping-ponging back and forth, but neither able to make a decisive move.
Tell you what, there's a bit of a trend at Ulverstone. The undershirt is back in a big way as Butler brings the ball to ground. It's going nowhere fast. It's in the arms of Derrico.
Do it different on the northwest coast, both in their footy and their fashion.
Cruz down now. Coming through was Dev Rees. He goes inside forward 50. The target will be Murphy Cohen. He offends. Gives away the free kick. Just thought he disguised it well enough. The umpire, unfortunately for him, disagrees. It'll be a Stan Tyson ball.
Tyson looked to drive out again. We saw in the women's game a pretty stiff breeze towards the left of your screen, so they might be up against it here. Just taking their time, working out of the back line nicely here. Now they look to exit the 50, pulled down well by Butler, and he gave it off, and they're off and running again. Streaming through the middle, the Magpies looking to move it quickly. Elmer, quick hands a couple of times, feeds to the outside. Now they can lower the eyes and look for a target. Nice chip kick, and they find that target. Really decisive attacking move there from Devonport, and at the end of it, it's Caleb Van Buren looked to take off quickly and kick for goal, but instead he'll go back for the set shot.
Yeah, it's great footy. His brother started the move at the other end of the ground. Slingshot stuff. Devonport out their best.
Now they just need to capitalise. Van Buren unloads from 50. It's a high ball, drifting and through. Perfect start for Devonport on the road. And it's the skipper getting them on the board. They lead 1 goal, none 6. Ulverstone yet to score.
It would be difficult to say they didn't deserve that one. They've had the majority of the play, and that was really good link up on the far wing. Elmer involved, and then inside to the skipper, who finished it off pretty well. A swirly breeze at Ulverstone. You can see that in picture form right there, and it finds its way through the big sticks, and Devonport are on the board.
Ulverstone scrapping hard so far in this game, but struggling to find any real clean possession. We'll see what they can come up with from the stoppage again here. Ball's up, and we're back in play. One down Ulverstone's way, but not going very far now. Trying to burst through is Michael Linane. He gets a kick away, but doesn't get much purchase, and it's coming back with interest for Devonport now. Down low there and claiming the mark, and now powering inside 50. This one will go right to the top of the goal square. Flies there, but it's a strong mark. Intercepted by Flanagan, and Ulverstone now can look to repel.
Good grab from Flanagan. He kicks, finds a target in Blizzard. Blizzard, pokey little ball onto the wing. Well received. Grateful arms of Hazelwood. Hazelwood now. Good ball movement from Ulverstone. It's brought unstuck because the Magpies have the numbers. Flinging out a handball. It comes to Van Buren. Van Buren puts this one back into congestion, and they're under the pump now. Coming through was Linane. He just couldn't quite bring it under his spell, and Devonport escaped a nervy moment. It's picked up by Reiki. He goes into the middle. It was good body work by Lowe, but it hit him on the bounce. Coming through was Flanagan, brought to ground. Elmer spies it, grabs it, hands it out. A loopy handball, brings a teammate under the pump. Good enough to recover. Forster now inside 50. Bouncing ball for Cameron. He's got a couple. He's in an Ulverstone sandwich. And he's brought unstuck. Good tackle, good defensive work from the Robins.
Yeah, Kai Cameron, we know how dangerous he is, but didn't have an inch of space there as Ulverstone exit now. Lockie Williams gets it and sends a high ball up towards centre wing. Devonport make the fly, but in the end, it's just bunted over the line. Looms as a shootout here between two of the most dangerous forwards in the competition. Kai Cameron leading the competition with 19 goals. Michael Linane not far behind with 18. They've both had their hands on the footy, but nothing decisive yet as the ball comes back into play here. Crunching tackle laid there. Thought it might have been a little bit higher than it is. Devonport tried to take the advantage, but they'll be forced to slow it down here and set up again.
Will indeed. Will be kicked by Lee. He pokes to Ryan, who's kicked some terrific goals this year. Shown a real want to burst from stoppage. Van Buren now. Long searching kick inside 50. Cameron will be the target. A jump on this occasion from Lockie Kelly. Ulverstone repel for only instances. It's coming back again. Van Buren once more. Really good kick. He finds a likely tie-up in Lenny Douglas.
We've seen for a number of years now, haven't we, how dangerous Lenny Douglas is inside 50 for the Tasmania Devils at under 18 level, now doing it for Devonport in the seniors.
Douglas He goes the snap. He hasn't quite got the journey. Just short. Castles whacks it on the boot. Ball still alive. It bounces away. Van Buren there to meet it. Wrestles for the footy. It'll be a stoppage. Well, it took them 2 kicks and they still didn't get the trip. Might give us a bit of a hint on what the Breeze is doing here at Ulverstone. The rucks go out again. Cruz, finger tipper. Lenane almost comes to Blizzard. He goes through traffic nicely. Cut through like one of those fancy Japanese knives. It's picked up by Lee for Devonport. He pokes him board. Cut off by Murphy Cohen. Key target for this Ulverstone setup. Powering ball. Bounce inside 50. That looked like a shove. The umpires let it go. Kick forward by Hazelwood. Bouncing ball. They're on the board, Ulverstone, albeit a minor score.
Now need to try and lock it in their attacking 50 here as Devonport been really clean working their way through trouble. Declan Lee spears a kick. Doesn't quite find the target of low over his head, and Devonport come back now. Blizzard, a poking ball inside 50. No mark there. Great follow-up pressure from the Robins, though. Looked like there might have been a high tackle there, and it's been given. Ulverstone will have another chance to get their first goal of the day here through the free kick.
One of the best umpires Tasmania's produced in a long time, Matty Clark. The helm of this one. So Roots just inside 50, sends it on its way. That is absolutely crisp off the boot, straight through the hey diddle diddle, and Ulverstone take the lead.
Made it look easy from beyond 50, didn't he? Didn't try to kick it too hard, used the breeze perfectly, and did it with ease in the end, and that puts Ulverstone on the board and into the lead here. They're certainly holding their own in this contest.
Good game so far. And when you get opportunities against a team like Devonport, you've got to put them on the board. He negotiated the breeze well, would be my read on that one. Perfect kick. Just so sweet off the boot. And they're on the board. Not only are they on the board, they're in the lead. Well done, Ulverstone.
I think they'd see this as a real chance to make a statement. Seen some discourse online, maybe feeling a little bit disrespected. Only one player picked in the NWFL representative squad, given their undefeated status, but they're up here. But it's Devonport bursting out of the middle through Ryan again. A deep kick in, and it's as simple as that for the Magpies. It's Kai Cameron taking it on the chest.
Well, yeah, the unfortunate thing against good sides sometimes, when you get them on the board, they can go back to work straight in the middle and show their class, as they did on that occasion. Ryan to Cameron to goal is a bit of a fearsome combo in the NWFL.
It is. We'll see if Cameron can finish the job here. Does so easily. Sends that one through. His first of the day. His 20th of the season. He's a tough man to stop, Kai Cameron, and Ulverstone weren't able to do it there, and the Magpies back in front now.
Well, yeah, we waxed lyrical for 30 seconds about Ulverstone putting themselves in front of the contest, and then Devonport, well, they took that personally, didn't they? They straight away out of the middle, show their class, and this is why they've been such a fearsome outfit for a number of years now on the Northwest Coast. They really are the yardstick, and Ulverstone are going to have to work hard all day and fight and scrap if they're going to be in this contest. As it's back in the middle once more, as Butler wins it down. Reiki almost handballed out. Castles farms out a handball. Our cameraman catch up with plays. It's kick forward. It's that man Cameron again. He doesn't quite complete the transaction. Off for Elmer. Snapping and goaling. Devonport, bang, bang.
Rinse and repeat, isn't it? Just clean use out of the stoppage, and in the blink of an eye, the Magpies put 2 on the board. That time it was Cameron turning provider, and Elmer, a really tidy finish there.
Really tidy finish. We apologise to those watching for the delayed camera work. We got there just in the nick of time to see Elmer turn this one back straight through the middle. And as I said before, Jacob, Ulverstone, we waxed lyrical for 30 seconds, and in a blink of an eye, Devonport just put it out of their reach for some bit, as it's a handball out of there from Ulverstone, not for long. Van Buren off to Low, kicking the direction of a teammate. coming through for the Robins was McGurk, and he might have been clipped high. Indeed he was. So we have a relieving free kick in the back half for Ulverstone. Powers long onto the wing. Packle form, not quite in the end, as Van Buren was in a one-on-one contest with Jordan Kelly and just fists it over. It'll be a ball in, centre wing.
Chance for everyone to take a breath after some rapid play from Devonport. Ball's back in. Falls to the Robins. They have to retreat to go forward, but a little fumble there from Hay. He recovers well, gets it off, and then gets it back. Looping handball over the top in the direction of Todman. He's under siege from 3 Magpies. Had nowhere to go there, but the boundary line might have just saved him.
Bit of feeling, bit of niggle in this one.
It's good to see, isn't it? You want to see a little bit of heat in a top-of-the-table clash like this as we're back into play. Ryan lurking dangerously, puts the handball away but can't find the target. Now it's Blizzard bursting through and sending a high ball inside 50. Strong body work. Clean hands there. It's just too big and too strong. And that'll be Luke Murfitt-Cohen now back to take another set shot at goal.
Kicked a lot of goals for Clarence in the Development League for a number of years. Moved north, played for Longford, won premiership there. Successful era. Now calling the Robins home. A prolific goal kicker over his journey. So from outside the paint of 50, just from outside the square, he's launched that one. Just tugged it left. A minor score. But he's got a leg on him. Jacob Dool.
I was going to say, distance certainly wasn't a problem, was it? No concerns for him there. As you say, didn't quite have the accuracy. 10-point margin now in Devonport's favour as they reassess and look to exit the defensive 50. A good kick there finds the target. Some real precision ball use so far from the Magpies, and now they're off again, bursting down the far wing. Long driving kick, spills out the back. Lowe trying to get onto the end of this one, but he can't quite get there. A little bit of potentially high contact there, but the ball keeps rolling Devonport's way. Kai Cameron disposes of one, steps around another, can't quite finish, but he is looming very dangerously in this contest.
It was almost too easy, wasn't it? He just wandered past him. Kai Cameron, geez, a quality player, smooth mover, just a lovely athlete. Very fortunate to have him in their side as Blair brings it out from fullback, finds Flanagan. There's a lot going on with Flanagan. It's a setup, the headband, the locks, the leg tat. Loving every bit of it as it comes onto the wing. It's cut off. It's handed out there by Lee. Now it's with Ryan. He's got trouble. Just squirts out the ball. It'll come the Robins' way, though. Long and strong and very well grabbed by Lee. He swings it out onto the broadcast wing. Pokey ball will find a target there in Mason. Mason drops it off for Forster. Long and strong to Kai Cameron. 1 mitt to it. Not quite enough. It's there for the Crummers. And walked over by Justin Clark expertly. And Ulverstone escape again. And they waste very little time. Blair with an absolute Barry Crocker of a kick. Bramich now. Pokey ball inside. It's picked up by Declan Lee. He doesn't quite get the trip. Has he taken the grab there? He had it on hands and knees. It was Justin Clark. I thought he nearly caught it with his legs. It would be a ball up in a dangerous zone if you're a fan of the red and black. Clark throws it up. Watch here for Cameron. He tries to almost throw a boot at it. Justin Clark again trying to mop up his mess after what was a clumsy attempt he nearly took. Up it goes again. Cameron out of the ruck. He'll try and find his boot. Good tackle. Good pressure. McGurk doing the hard stuff in there in the trenches for the hosts.
Just an arm wrestle around the goal mouth here as the ball goes up once again. Kai Cameron tries to slap it out that time but can't do so. Now tries to collect at ground level. Flicks out a handball only as far as Hay, who spins, does well under pressure but has nowhere to go now. Walks it over in deliberate. The end. And that has to be deliberate, doesn't it?
Unfortunately for Hay, that's about as deliberate as you'll ever see. It's like he lost his bearings, Jacob.
Either that or he expected a bit more pressure to come his way so he could just get tackled over, but he still had time. He just had nowhere to go, and in the end, the free kick goes to Charlie Castles, who'll have a chance to finish from the tight angle here. Darts around on the left, easy as you like. Slams through a fourth for Devonport, and they extend their lead out to 18 points.
Good maths, Jacob. Well done.
Took far longer than it should have.
It's good arithmetic. Yeah, no, that was too easy. Against a champion side like this, you can't be giving them gifts, and unfortunately, that's one he'd like to have again. It was young Jackson Hay, who did really well in traffic. That's the shame of it, to be honest, and maybe he just thought someone would throw a half tackle at him and he could walk it over, but maybe some good game awareness from the Magpies. They just kept their distance. As ball's back in the middle again. It's Butler and Cruz going at it. Extracting it was low. He gave it off to Bramich, and now they're inside 50, the Magpies, and all a bit too easy for this champion side. This is Kelly with a ball. There's a whistle. Don't know whether he wants him to go round on the mark. That's generally the case, isn't it?
Shame, because he'd found a nice easy target with a better angle.
So young Kelly look to snap. Bends it a little too far. Minor score. So Devonport out to 19-point lead. And he's been busy already. As your man Jackson Blair, the skipper, and he brings it beyond the arc. It's a good little kick in the end. It was socked cleverly by Hazelwood. It's being forced out of play, out of side. Good crowd in at Ulverstone. Picture perfect day for footy. And Ulverstone started hot, and then Devonport have just flexed their muscle.
Turned the screws, haven't they, the Magpies? Nothing easy for Ulverstone here, but still well and truly in the fight as Devonport win it again from the stoppage, but coming away with it is De Vries. Ducks around a couple well, handball off. Didn't quite make it to Linane, but he taps it on nicely. Magpies bring numbers now, but Linane's in there again, fighting. Eventually claimed by 3 Devonport players. They know how dangerous he can be. Huge performance last week. Giving him plenty of attention as, again, the ball comes to ground. No one able to win it decisively. But we've got a free kick here, it looks like, going Devonport's way.
Not that the player's aware of it. They're the best ones, aren't they?
Always a good sign when both players go to stand on the mark and no one's quite sure which way to go, but it's the Magpies who come away now. A little chip kick out to the far side of the ground. Done this well, Devonport, just taking their time to assess and find the best option as they bring it back into the middle now. There was a target there and he does well to bring it down. Now streaming through inside 50 again, but Ulverstone have the numbers. Your man Flanagan there able to find a teammate, but immediately claimed again.
They've been busy, the Ulverstone backs, and they will be all afternoon. They're going to have to put in a shift if they're going to win this game, as it's picked up by Douglas. Maybe a bit fortunate not to have offended on that one. It was a good kicking by Lowe and too easy for Castles. Just pounced on it like a seagull on a hot chip. Pokes it through, and that's his second.
Just read the ball beautifully off hands, didn't he? Castles knew where it was going to fall, beat everyone to the spot. For a player of his quality, that's an easy finish.
It's trouble now, isn't it, really? As you see the replay, Lockie Kelly, good contest. Castles, crafty stuff there at the fall. And just monitoring the body language of the Ulverstone backs. Feel like they've probably already put a shift in and we're not even through the first term. So maybe the coach has a bit of a look at what he can do to just arrest things, particularly in the middle of the ground where Devonport really have the ascendancy.
Again, they get the first touch on it from the stoppage, but Linane powers through and gets a kick away. It's a scrubby ball, winning it out of there for Devonport. Ball's going to come back. Again, it's with Linane. He's worked hard here, fighting against the tide, sells some candy, dances around the man on the mark and enters forward 50, but that'll be cut off. Again, there's just no easy targets forward for Ulverstone. That kick's a little too high for low, comes to the ground. Again, Roots there at the falls the ball, but he's jumped on. No chance to get away there.
No. Murphy Cohen doing the ruck work up against Lee. He takes it out of the ruck. Tommy Hawkins style. Whacks it on the boot. Oh, almost. Good contest. There's a whistle. Might go Ulverstone's way, this one. Zane Slatter wastes no time. And maybe he wishes he took a little longer because he skewed off his right boot. Lucky to get a point in the end. That's unfortunate for Ulverstone. Devonport reload.
Again, they'll just take some time here to find the best option. Been methodical so far. Tyson kicks long. A big fly there, but not able to bring down the mark. And now they'll clean up at ground level once again. The Magpies just working overtime, scrapping and clawing. Ulverstone try to get away now. It'll be a scruffy kick into the attacking 50. Beats everyone.
Good grab it off the ground.
Good pickup, wasn't it? But again, the pressure from the Magpies just keeps on coming. There's no easy possessions there for the Robins.
They're a very good football team, Devonport Football Club. There's no question about that. It's leading the ruck again. Umpire Clark's seen something. It's going to go the way of the Robins. I think it's Linane. And
like
the throw didn't go back to him. So it won't be Linane, in fact. It'll be, I think this might be Jordan Kelly. I'll just need to clarify, but he's been marched to the line. He's Jordan Kelly. Marched to the line as easy as you'd like. Ulverstone get their second, one they badly needed. And you take them however you get them.
Absolutely. In a contest like this, up against a team like Devonport, take every opportunity you can get. I thought I saw maybe a kicking in danger signalled in there, so maybe in the scrap of the contest someone threw a boot and the umpire didn't appreciate it, but the 50-metre penalty, the icing on the cake, made sure of it for Kelly and for the Robins, and it's an important one late in the quarter here to keep them in the contest.
Absolutely it is. Hems it back to a 3-goal margin. The Rucks go at it again. Butler down. Eyeing it off was Elmer. The siren beats him. This is where you don't want to see teams get silly and get into waste energy, if I'm honest. Waste energy on the field and then waste energy at the MRO. So thankfully that one was easily dispersed. And we have the first quarter wrapped up. Jacob Dool, what did you make of it?
I thought Ulverstone gave a really good account of themselves in the early exchanges, but ultimately the class of Devonport started to shine through. They were just really clean out of the stoppage for a couple of quick goals, and from there really were in control for the bulk of that quarter. But credit to Ulverstone, they've kept on scrapping and fighting. There hasn't been anything coming as easily for them, but been able to keep it to a 3-goal margin here, which I think is manageable, and they'll try to steady a little bit more after the break and cut into that margin again.
Yeah, I think both sides would have had some positives to take to that first huddle, but Devonport, well, they've shown just how explosive they can be out of the middle and in the forward half. Ulverstone defended well, looked bright in patches. They just need more of that. So we'll take a brief break and be back with the second stanza before too long. Stay with us here. It's JMC NWFL football on AFL Tasmania YouTube. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Be back soon. Hazelwood, bouncing ball. They're on the board, Ulverstone, albeit
50. No mark there. Great follow-up pressure from the Robins, though.
Clark, the helm of this one. So Roots just inside 50, sends it on its way. That is...
Yeah. undefeated status, but they're up here. But it's Devonport bursting out of the middle through Ryan again. A deep kick in, and it's as simple as that for the Magpies. We'll see if Cameron can finish the job here. Does so easily, sends that one through, his first of the...
Castles farms out a handball. Now cameramen catch up with plays. It's kick forward. It's that man Cameron again. He doesn't quite complete the transaction. Off for Elmer. Snapping and goaling.
Looping handball over the top in the direction of Todman. He's under siege from 3 Magpies. Dangerously puts the handball away but can't find the target. Now it's Blizzard bursting through and sending a high ball inside 50. Strong body work. Clean hands there.
So from outside the paint of 50, just from outside the square, he's launched that one. Just tugged it left. A minus.
High contact there, but the ball keeps rolling Devonport's way. High Cameron disposes of one, steps around another, can't quite finish, but he's looming very
strong to Kai Cameron. 1 mitt to it. Not quite enough. It's there for the Crummers. And walked over by Justin Clark expertly.
Goes to Charlie Castles, who will have a chance to finish from the tight angle here. Darts around on the left, easy as you like. Slam.
Look to snap. Bends it a little too far. Minor score. Fortunate not to have offended on that one. It was a good kicking by Lowe and too easy for Castles. Just pounced on it like a seagull on a hot chip. Zane Slatter wastes no time. And maybe he wishes he took a line. He's Jordan Kelly. March to the line as easy as you like. Ulverstone get their second. One they bat.
Scoped.
Back for the second term here from Ulverstone Recreation Ground. Good crowd in. Beautiful day. James C. NWFL footy at its finest. The Rucks gearing up to go at it once more. A 3-goal lead for the reigning premiers, Devonport. Up they go. It's won by Lee. Down to his opposing number. Out of there from Blair. A bouncing ball. Leading the foot race will be Fletcher Kelly. He's had a bit of it. He's clipped high. Won himself a free kick. Just a little clumsy from Murphy Cohen. In fact, might have been a spot of bother. I reckon it was Murphy Cohen's shin maybe that collected Fletcher Kelly. He'll need to be assessed, you'd think.
Certainly copped a solid whack there, didn't he? As he said, clumsy more than anything it looked like, but See the trainers out on the ground now. You'd think they'd want to take a look at him before he continues. So the kick will be taken by Keegan Lowe.
Yeah, I think common sense probably prevails on that occasion. Good care for the player. Jogging off, but anytime it's contact to the head, we need to take these things extra serious. Make sure we're doing right by players out there. As Lowe, who impressed in his recent outing for Tasmania, kicks long, parrying towards centre half forward. Charlie Castle's really sharp, drops off with a handball. A ball bouncing through. Terrific finish. Really slick stuff. That was nicely done. I think it was Bramich who finished off. We'll see on the replay. Came through, Castles pounced on it. Look at the hands. It was Bramich on the left. Straight through. That was just champagne footy from a premier team like Devonport. They extend their lead to 4 goals.
That's been Devonport's day so far, hasn't it? Just lightning quick when they decide to go, and they've been clinical up to this point. Pushed the lead out to 4 goals. Now thumped forward out of the ruck there by Lee. Gained some territory. It's just paddled along. Bursting out of there is Blair Ryan. Throws it on the boot. Goes towards goal. Just pushes it across the face. You mentioned earlier we've seen plenty of goals like that from Blair Ryan. He's been a regular nomination in the Premier League's Goal of the Week for doing exactly that. Couldn't quite find the target that time.
He's got that burst on him, doesn't he? This kick from fullback finds Hay. So Jackson Hay surveys the scene, spreads it. Ball will find target in Hazelwood. So Hazelwood keeps it moving, shovels it down. No, it's Hazelwood here, rather. Oh, no, it is Hazelwood. Hazelwood to Hazelwood. Getting myself confused. So Hazelwood long and strong. Looking for Linane. The big man, Cruz, just a little over-exuberant. Brings down Kynan Lee, who earned himself a free kick, and now it's with Lowe swinging to the outer wing. They'll connect with hands. It's now with Braden Van Buren. He looks inboard, just slips out of his fingers at the crucial moment. It'll be a stoppage. Out of sight of the square. Sunglasses on over there on the outer side because the sun is beaming here on the Sunshine Coast of northwest Tasmania. And it'll be a stoppage once more. It's better stuff from Ulverstone just to halt the momentum of Devonport, not allow that chain of handballs, which we've seen is so dangerous when they connect with them, as Todman, Soccer's inside 50, comes back the other way. Bramich eventually will bring it under his spell. Good handball now for Elmer. Just glides by one with a running bounce. He gets by another. Hands off now, but he just ran out of tarmac. Out of play, and will be thrown in.
Love to see him taking the game on there, though, Elmer. Didn't quite pay off, but really looking to run and gun when they can here, Devonport, as we're back in now. Little tap over the head from Cruz, but in the end falls to Blair. High up and under out to the wing, almost claimed by Bramich, but he gets it on the second attempt. Handball inboard, into traffic, and now it's Ulverstone who can try to come away with it. Ball's thrown on the boot, down towards Murphy Cohen. Couldn't quite reel it in with the one hand.
He's in trouble here, Murphy Cohen.
Yeah, something with the lower leg there. It looks like not what you want to see. Hopefully the trainers can get out to him. In the meantime, Devonport work their way down the near wing. Only as far, though, as Slater there, who does well to intercept.
Slater inside, looking for his skipper in Blair. Picks it up eventually. Murphy Cohen still down in centre square. That is not good news for the hosts. It's Lee who moves it from one side to the other. The experienced Braden Van Buren. He's walking now at least Murphy Cohen. It's better news as Bramich, who's had a lot of the footy, picks it up out of wing. Steadying kick, nice one. Dropped off by handball to Forster. Now in from low, inside forward 50. Butler the target, wrestles with his opponent. Good tackle. His stoppage forward 50 for Devonport. 2-3-15, plays 6-4-40. The Premier's on top. It'll be a free kick, I reckon, against Cruz. Just bustled in on Butler. Came late. Umpire adjudicating that there might have been some contact in the back. So Butler now lines up the sticks. Tight angle. Sends it on its way. I tell you what a lovely kick from Butler. Threads the needle. And Devonport extend their advantage. They're a classy team. And even if they get half a sniff, they're likely to make you pay, as we see on this occasion. Butler, tight angle, threads the needle. They skip out to a 31-point lead. 7 minutes into this second term. The alarm bells will be ringing in the coach's box if you're Ulverstone.
It's getting into dangerous territory now, isn't it? Especially against a team like Devonport. You know they're not going to give up goals in bunches. So what can they do to try and claw their way back into this game?
Kicking in danger, I reckon, on that occasion. You don't see it much anymore. It's a bit of an old-time rule.
Have to just about kick someone's hand off these days to see it blown, but a good call there. And now the Robins have a chance to slingshot from the half-back line. This one will go deep into attack. What can they do here? Magpies once again get front position and then first hands to the ball at ground level. Just not giving away anything easy, are they?
Nah, they're stingy defence. And they've just got that firepower from midfield to forward. Elmer nearly got away with it. He claims Williams in a tackle. Terrific young player, Elmer. Love the way he plays his footy. Is one down by Butler, the most recent goal kicker, off for Ryan. Now will be brought outside 50. It's Kelly, the Lockie variety. Here's my man Flanagan. Swings a handball. I tell you what, there was heat on Hazelwood before it got anywhere near him. Brilliant tackle. Now off from low. Caleb Van Buren, classy effort, finds Byard. Now it's with the speedy Douglas. He runs away and puts it on a platter. They'll look inside. And they all just line up and take a ticket. And ultimately, it's Ryan who claims it gleefully.
That's just perfect footy, isn't it? Clean hands in traffic to start it off. Perfect kick from Lenny Douglas inside 50, and then the unselfishness to look for the target with the better angle at the shot. It's everything you could ask for if you're a Devonport fan or coach. Have a chance to finish it here.
He's a it's a very, very good football team, Devonport. It's no secret to their success. They just are a well-oiled machine. Blair Ryan been a big part of their success so far this season. Lines up for Devonport's 8th. From every bit of 40 metres out. Just doesn't quite stroke it the way he would have liked. It'll be a minor score.
Prefers him running 100 miles an hour out of the middle, Blair Ryan. That one was a little bit too simple for him.
To tell you what, a pokey little ball nearly put Ulverstone under the pump again. But yeah, you're dead right. Ryan has made that somewhat of a signature. Maybe a bit too easy, this set shot. Van Buren in traffic. They're under the pump here. Good pressure applied. Really good stuff from Hazelwood. Smothering it. Running into trouble was De Vries. It'll come back, or they won't allow the play on advantage. So it'll come back. Forster off that left. King inside forward 50, all red and black. Should rebound here, the Robins. The ball just didn't sit right for Slatter. Come back in for the Magpies. Good body work from Castles. Did enough just to get a mitt to it. The Ulverstone defender will be ball in. Almost 11 minutes gone in this second quarter. JMC NWFL footy.
Devonport looked to find something once again, but Lanane powers through and sends it long. Cut off, though. There's just no easy outlets here for Ulverstone. Once again, it'll come back with interest from the Magpies. That one's back inside 50, a great kick and a great mark from Castles. He wheels and goes quickly, sends it to the top of the goal square. Who can he find? Spills out the back, paddled back into play by Butler, kept alive. Ground level, good hands from Reiki, now falls down again with Cameron, twists and turns, can't keep his feet, ends up with Harry Elmer and he slams it through. It was scrappy, but the Magpies good enough to make it work, and Harry Elmer puts it through again.
Well, the pressure was good. The Devonport Magpies were better. That's just the reality. It's good stuff from Reiki through traffic. I didn't mind. Butler just didn't quite get the clean handball, and then Elmer, good enough. He had red and black around him, but he just poked it home. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly for the hosts. Devonport being terrific.
I think your description of that goal just about summed up the contest so far. The pressure's good from Ulverstone, but Devonport have just been that extra level better.
No question. And that's an exquisite hit out. Straight to Elmer. Straight through the middle. Beautiful football. It's now with Lockie Kelly. And that one's offline from the quick pass. So Ulverstone to reset and try and get their game going. It's been, unfortunately, a lot of back half football, and that doesn't help. Straight to Lockie Kelly. He feigns quick handball, which he tried only moments ago. So Lockie Kelly, 45 metres out. The Devonport's ninth. Never looked like it. Hit the wrong bit of his boot. Lucky to get a point in the end. And maybe Ulverstone can count themselves somewhat fortunate that Devonport haven't been too ruthless in front of the sticks. A few gettable ones gone begging as Lanane brings them out from full back and into the arms of Jordan Kelly.
Lanane taking the initiative there with the kick in and doing well. The second kick can't quite find the target of Lockie Cruz. Again, Devonport just getting a hand in there. They'll have a chance to build again from the stoppage here where they've been so dangerous so far in this game. Ball's back into play. The Rucks have to work a little bit to get there, and it's played out to a draw. Maybe there might have been some high contact there from Cruz, but gets away with it. Earns himself another ball up. Cruz and Butler fight. Cruz gets first hand on it, but it falls to Ryan. He slams it on the boot and sends it inside 50 again, and it just falls perfectly onto the chest of Kai Cameron, who turns and goes and drops a beautiful pass into the path of Lenny Douglas. That is centimetre perfect from Kai Cameron, turning provider. Douglas gratefully accepts the gift and slams it home.
All a bit too easy, wasn't it? All a bit too easy. And I think, yeah, it's hard to stop this sort of footy when they've got to run on like this. And the kick, like the vision from Kai Cameron was superb, and straight onto it in a flash, wasn't it? Young Lenny Douglas. He's a quality forward, but that's the sort of delivery. Whether you're quality or not, you just love it because it's on an absolute platter for you. And free kick here. Clipping high was Cruz. Just came across Scon. Switch out to the broadcast wing. Mason did well to hold on to the grab. Asked a bit of him that kick. Kelly was bearing down. So Mason. Long high ball. Pack forms. Whistle. And it's going the way of Devonport. Flanagan offending. And they are all over them. Lockie Kelly again. All over them like a cheap suit. Here we go. Lockie Kelly. Not much angle to speak of. Straight in front. Kick again. Lets him down. Out to the right. Minor score. 2-3-15. Ulverstone plays Devonport 9-8. 62. Far too good, the Premiers, so far in this one. Halfway through the second term.
Ulverstone now with a chance to rebound. What can they find? Cruz tried to get to the contest, but whether it was an inset mark or the free kick that's ultimately been given, the Devonport Magpies were all over it, and they, again, just reset, go again, work it around the back line now with the switch. Mason has it. He comes again this way. Some pressure coming. Well done from Hazelwood. He pounces on it and goes now. No help with him, so he throws it on the boot, scruffs it home, and that bounces through. Fantastic finish from Lucas Hazelwood. Something from nothing. That's exactly what Ulverstone needed. And they get their fourth of the day to stay in this contest.
That's a perler, isn't it? On a day where you've felt like you've been on the ropes for a lot of it. You just come out, have a moment forward, and just read it so well, Hazelwood. Look at that, the tap down. Pounces on it. Throws it on the boot. Had nothing to look at. Floats on through. That is a great goal. That is a Monty for goals of the week, I reckon. Beautiful stuff.
Just the gut running as well to even get to that contest. As you said, he read where the ball was going, but still had plenty of hard work to do to even get there and impact it.
He had it all to do, didn't he? And quality. Lucas Hazelwood. Well done, young man. It cuts the margin, but unfortunately for Ulverstone, it's still at 41 points. Ryan out of the middle, off for Reiki. Just slips through his fingers. Goes to Bramich. Bramich this way, that away. Off for Lowe. Finds an overlap with a handball. Inside forward 50. All too easy. Kai Cameron out. Gobbles it up. And he'll line up. How many's he kicked so far, Cameron? We got him down for at least maybe one, I reckon.
No, he's dished off a couple of nice ones, but see if we can find how many he's kicked himself.
Kai Cameron marches on in. They have all the answers at every turn, Devonport. We asked a lot of the goal umpire there, nearly tipped over as he was watching it go through. A minor score. It's the only thing, the only blemish on their game so far, and I reckon Ulverstone can count themselves somewhat fortunate. Lanane now from full back. Good kick. Finds Flanagan. The long locks and headband. Onto the wing. Searching kick. Just stays inside. Long enough for Dev Rees to take the grab. Dev Rees. Oh, skips by one. Clever stuff. Bramich it was, who wasn't aware to it. Through the fingers of a Magpie. In Bayard. Skipping through. Was good handball there from De Vries. And a good delivery in onto the chest of Murphy Cohen, who's back from the dead.
Looked like he might be done for the day, didn't he?
I thought he was done. I thought it was a red vest scenario, but he's back. Must have just been a stinger on that ankle. It's a good ball in, and Murphy Cohen, he's a player they need to get into the game. So Murphy Cohen for back-to-back goals for Ulverstone. From the left pocket. Just doesn't quite steer it home. That hurts for the hosts.
Tricky kick with the breeze, but not the kind of opportunity you want to let go against a team like Devonport when you're facing a deficit like this. Magpies again have a chance to power out here. A long kick from Braden Van Buren. Doesn't find the target, but they win it again at ground level, and now it's Keegan Lowe in an acre of space. takes 2 bounces, skips around his man, sends it inside 50 to a dangerous spot. No one could get to it. It just spills out the back. Paddling it around there. It's Caleb Van Buren. He's stripped of it. Ulverstone try to come away now. Quick hands through there. But the pressure just keeps on coming. Quade Byard gives the hands out to Lowe. He's tripped and then pounced on. Looked a good tackle again. Free kick maybe whistled for Ulverstone. No, it's coming back now, I think.
Unfortunately, for Ulverstone's sake, maybe it's a lack of advantage, or I'm not sure what's going on here. We'll find out in a moment. Downfield.
Looks like a downfield free kick.
So Murphy Cohen inside the square, looks ahead. Goes out to Linane, who just grabs it. Finger tipper. So Linane, a bit of momentum here for Ulverstone. He powers from the right-hand side of the 50. Up it goes. They need a target here, the Robins. Nearly there for Blizzard. Farms out a handball. Falls into the arms of Todman. He couldn't quite. Murphy Cohen brought down in a tackle. It feels like if they're going to kick a score, they're going to need Murphy Cohen to come to the table. Free kick, a whistle. It's going against Murphy Cohen. A bit of chirp between the pair. So Butler with the ball spreads it wide.
Murphy Cohen been in the thick of things since he came back on the ground, but that one didn't quite go his way, and now Devonport have it again. Kick in board here. Finds Mason at the edge of the centre square. Got players calling in board, but he goes down the wing instead, and that's a pinpoint kick. Beautifully done. Finds Lee, who gives the hands off to Byard. He waltzes to the edge of 50, sends it to the top of the square. 2 Devonport players fight for the mark. Far too easy once again, and in the end, it's Lenny Douglas who comes down with it. Had 2 players wide open there. I think Douglas is a safe set of hands to have it in if he's kicking for goal. Strolls in Douglas, sends it on its way, and that's as easy as you like for Lenny Douglas. Guides that one through, and all of a sudden, just as Ulverstone felt like they were getting a bit of momentum, Devonport strikes back once again.
Well, that's it, isn't it? They have a bright patch. They get it in the right areas. They don't capitalise. And unfortunately, goes down the other end. And Devonport have a couple of these very, very dangerous players. You've got Douglas, you've got Cameron, you've got Castles. There's just a lot to like about their front end. So back in the middle again. Devonport trying to extract it. They do in the end. Butler comes out, and Ryan with that trademark blitz just gets it through the fingertips of Cameron. Linane there tries to get by one. He ran into trouble. Douglas tackle unrewarded. But it's in the right part of the ground for the black and white. The ball will go up once more. Ulverstone, repel. It was McGurk who just got it out of there. The youngster, Hazelwood, done well. Wins the ball off to Linane. Pokey ball, finds its target in Todman.
Todman now has a chance to assess what's up ahead. Devonport done such a good job in this game of getting the numbers behind the ball and intercepting, but the kick now goes long, and once again, more of the same, the intercept from Spears. He's put under pressure as he kicks, but sends it straight onto the chest there of Kai Cameron, who presented well. Probably within range here with the breeze at his back, Kai Cameron, but we'll see what he does. It's a high ball. That one's going to drift and drift and drift straight through the middle. Easy as you like for Kai Cameron. He's got another one. Devonport continue to power away.
He made that look a very easy kick, but I'm going to assure you it wasn't.
Off the boot, it looked like he might just be setting it up for the top of the square, but it just kept on going.
It was incredible. So where he's taken it here on the paint of 50, he doesn't take that many steps. I reckon it's a two-stepper.
He's almost gone from a standing start there and just
and
stabbed
look at
it
the
from
height.
55.
And he just caressed it beautifully. Beautiful goal. Devonport again. What are we? 53 points up now. So it's a mountain to climb if you're Ulverstone. The Premiers flex their muscle. Butler in the ruck. Up against the undersized McGurk. Comes through. Bramich, who's had a fair bit of the footy. Tries to claim it. Butler again. Not quite. There's Bayard. It's gathered by De Vries. He drops it off into the middle. Lenane, the target, doesn't quite get to him. Van Buren off for Reiki, off for Ryan. Coming inside forward 50 again is Devonport. And they're just a classy, classy outfit. This time it's Declan Lee. He doesn't fancy himself. There was a bit of a second guess about that.
It's one thing I have liked about them. They're always looking for that option. There's never a selfish look for goal. It's first thought is to find a teammate, and then, as he'll do here, go back and take the shot.
So Declan Lee skips across the arc. Long high ball just drifts out to the left. Just a minor score. So another one as we look out into the distance for reasons unknown. Siren sounds on the first half of footy here at the Ulverstone Rec Ground. The hosts have a lot of work to do. 3-4-22. They trail Devonport 11-10-76. The reigning premiers are showing why they are the reigning premiers, and consistently the yardstick in this part of the world. They are a fearsome, fearsome unit. They've impressed across every line. They're going to take some beating in the JMC NWFL this season, particularly if they play like they have today, Jacob Dull.
It's really impossible to fault them, isn't it? You look at the talent individually, and the big names have stepped up. Harry Elmer's been everywhere. Keegan Lowe, Kai Cameron, big names in this competition. But beyond that, their structures and the way they've worked has just been really faultless. You know, they've always had numbers behind the ball in the right position, always working for each other. The endeavour's been there from Ulverstone, and I think there's certainly some players in their lineup who have given a good account of themselves, but there's only so much you can do when you're under the kind of swarming pressure that Devonport's brought to the table. And as you say, that's why they're the premiers, that's why they're the favourites again this year, and they're certainly proving it's going to take a lot to beat them.
It will, particularly this afternoon. They lead it by 54 points at the half. Ulverstone with some work to do in at the sheds. Hang with us here on the JMC NWFL live stream. We'll have a break for half time. We'll be back with all the second half action from the Northwest Coast in the JMC NWFL. Foot race will be Fletcher Kelly. He's had a bit of it. He's clipped high. And himself a free kick. Just a little clumsy. Lowe, who impressed in his recent outing for Tasmania Kicks, long parrying towards centre half forward. Charlie Castle's really sharp. Drops off with a handball. The ball bouncing through. Terrific finish.
Bursting out of there is Blair Ryan. Throws it on the boot. Goes towards goal. Just pushes it across the face. You mentioned earlier we've seen plenty of goals.
Lines up the sticks. Tight angle. Sends it on its way. I tell you what a lovely kick from Butler. Threads it on a platter. They'll look inside. And they all just line up and take a ticket. And ultimately, it lines up for Devonport's 8th. From every bit of 40 metres out. Just doesn't quite stroke it.
By Butler, kept alive. Ground level, good hands from Reiki. Now falls down again with Cameron. Twists and turns, can't keep his feet. Ends up with Harry Elmer, and he slams it through. It was scrappy.
Now with Lockie Kelly. And that one's offline. A quick pass. be set and try and get their game going. It's been, unfortunately, a lot of back half football, and that doesn't help. Straight to lock. Devonport's 9th. Never looked like it. Hit the wrong bit of his boot. Lucky to get a point.
First hand on it, but it falls to Ryan. He slams it on the boot and sends it inside 50 again, and it just falls perfectly onto the chest of Kai Cameron, who turns and goes and drops a beautiful pass into the path of Lenny Douglas. That is
Mason. Long high ball. Pack forms. Whistle. Not much angle to speak of. Straight in front. Kick again. Lets him down. Out to the right. Minus.
around the back line now with the switch. Mason has it. He comes again this way. Some pressure coming. Well done from Hazelwood. He pounces on it and goes now. No help with him, so he throws it on the boot, scruffs it home, and that bounces through.
Ramage this way, that away. Off for Lowe. Finds an overlap with a handball. Inside forward 50, all too easy. Kai Cameron out. Have all the answers at every turn, Devonport. Well, he asked a lot of the goal umpire there. Nearly tipped over as he fired. Skipping through. It was good handball there from De Vries. And a good delivery in on for back-to-back goals for Ulverstone. From the left pocket. Just doesn't quite steer it home.
Finds Lee, who gives the hands off to Bayard. He waltzes to the edge of 50, sends it to the top of the square. Two Devonport players fight for the mark. Rolls in Douglas, sends it on its way, and that's as easy as you like for Lenny Douglas. More of the same, the intercept from Spears. He's put under pressure as he kicks, but sends it straight onto the chest there of Kai Cameron, who presented well. It's a high ball. That one's going to drift and drift and drift straight through the middle. Easy as you like.
Van Buren off for Reiki, off for Ryan. Coming inside forward 50 again is Devonport. Declan Lee skips across the arc. Long high ball just drifts out to the left. Just up. Back for the second half from Ulverstone Rec Ground. Siren sounds and we're ready to get moving. It's a big lead for Devonport. What can Ulverstone do? As Kelly squeezes out a handball. Good tackle provided by De Vries. To be a chance, they need their good players like Braden De Vries to get involved. It's Butler up against his opposing ruckman, who claims it here. It's Bryce De Vries. Squeezes out a kick. Roots. Kicked a good goal in that first half. Punched away, and away go Devonport. Through hands they connect. Kicking ball just skips under the intended target, and it just lucks a fortune. Falls to Harry Elmer, and he just about squeezes home. It just snicks the post as it flies on through. He couldn't believe his luck. It was meant for Lockie Kelly, who didn't grab it, and Harry Elmer just pounced on it. Got a little mouse on a bit of cheese. Num, 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 but couldn't quite steer it home. So we're back on centre wing. 11-11 Devonport, 77, 55 points to the good.
Elmer thought he was a certainty to add to that lead there, but alas, they'll try to go again from centre wing here. Falls their way and low, picks it up cleanly, snaps around the body and sends it inside 50. It lands in the middle of his targets. Kai Cameron storming out of the square once again, but he's claimed immediately in a good tackle by Lachlan Williams. They'll have the chance to go again from the stoppage. Lee skies in the ruck, taps it down in front of Reiki, can't quite collect. Castles floats through, snaps from the boundary. Cameron thought he was going to be able to reel that in with one hand, but couldn't quite do it. Ulverstone looked to send it down the far side again, but again, Devonport just bringing the pressure. Quick snap to the face of goal, well intercepted by the skipper Jackson Blair, and he'll look to come back out this near side.
He looks for Roots, who couldn't quite claim it, and skips out of play in front of healthy crowd there at the Boozer at Ulverstone. Lovely ground. Northwest Coast is so blessed with so many wonderful footy venues. As the ball will be thrown in again. Rees in the ruck now, up against Butler. Squeezed out a kick. Slater, who ran to meet it. He was brought down in a good tackle by the skipper, Caleb Van Buren. Butler storms to the front, drops it off. Keegan Lowe, steering ball is terrific. So well weighted. Just invited Kai Cameron. Just great footy. Keegan Lowe, take a bow. Kai Cameron now has to do the business.
It's just two classy players, isn't it? Cameron knowing where to lead, and Lowe just dropping it on a dime right onto his chest.
Kai Cameron, this is probably the part of his game today he hasn't quite nailed. He's a prolific goal kicker. Looks good off the boot. Squeezes it home. Another on the board for Kai Cameron and the Devonport Magpies. They extend their advantage. 62 points.
Like that one as soon as he kicked it, didn't he, Kai Cameron? And a little point and a few words to that crowd you were talking about. And it never looked like missing from our angle behind. Beautiful kick. Really made a name for himself this year, Kai Cameron. I'm sure Devonport knew what he was capable of coming into the season, but for the rest of the state, his performances for the Senior Talent Academy have really opened some eyes to just how good he can be.
He's just got such a unique athletic profile. Just reads the game well. As Castles wins the footy, as our cameraman keeps up with the action once more. It's kicked inside forward 50 from Forster. Not quite dealt with by Ulverstone, but a good tackle on Harry Elmer at the crucial moment. Just in the nick of time. They butter up. So from the last line, Ulverstone kicking along. It was a young Hazelwood that brought it to ground. Caleb Van Buren, with all his experience, steers it towards Butler, who just keeps it in. It was a good handball back by Lenny Douglas. Couldn't quite find Magpies' teammate. That's really good through traffic. And Ulverstone should be able to just... That's been the issue a little bit today. That ball retention, just to take heat out of it, take the pace off it, control it. Haven't been able to stick it.
It feels like they've been under a little bit more pressure, haven't they? Don't have the easy targets, but also don't have the time to stop and assess and make the kick count as again. Devonport brings some heat there. Good tackle from Derrico. Will ball it up once again. Falls in front of Jet McGurk, who sends it high up into the centre square. Didn't travel far, but no one was able to grab it. A good punch forward by Hazelwood, but it falls to Braden Van Buren, who gets it back here. Tidy kick. Beautifully dropped it in between two Robins, straight onto a chest of a teammate who sends it long. Storming out of the square once again. It's that man, Lenny Douglas. He's looked dangerous throughout this game. Once again, just read where the ball was dropping. Got to it first. He'll have a chance to add to this lead for the Magpies. Lenny Douglas strolls in. Kick looks pretty good off the boot, and the goal umpire watches it sail over his hat. It's another one for Lenny Douglas. He's been fantastic, as have so many of his teammates, and Devonport push that lead out now to 68 points. They lead 13-12-90 to Ulverstone's 3-4-22, and they just keep the foot down on the pedal.
No, they're a quality outfit, and he's one of the absolute highest quality, Lenny Douglas. I think that was his third of the afternoon, to go with 3 from Kai Cameron. So they're just very, very potent, polished performers. Straight out of the middle they go again. Inside forward 50 again. Our cameraman asleep at the wheel. Eventually catches up. It's brought out of there by Blair, the skipper. Trickle its way over. 22 plays 90. It's a whopping big score to reel in a quarter and a bit. It's brought back. One down by Cruz. Just too good in at the trenches at Devonport, but this one's won by Jonty De Vries. He kicks looking for Murphy Cohen, loses his footing at the crucial moment. Good hand off, still there for Ulverstone. Magpie jumpers all around this ball. Chet McGurk did well to hold it in. The big ruck, Cruz comes over. Fists it down. And it's Braden Van Buren on it first.
It's a rare foray forward recently for Ulverstone, but they really need to take advantage here and just grab some momentum back. Tap down. In traffic, just keeps on scrambling it forward there. Jonah Slater kept the ball in front. Threw a boot out at it and managed to scramble it over the line, and that's Ulverstone's 4th of the day on the board.
We like that from Jonah. Fortuitous stuff. Pounces on it. Sends it home.
That's what you need in a game like this, isn't it? Just someone to make something out of nothing and try to halt that momentum that Devonport have been building. Just tapped it in front a few times under pressure and kept his composure at the end to put the finishing touches on.
So back in the middle. Thing about this is you have a feeling that if you're going to win the JMC NWFL Premiership, it's going to have to be through Devonport. So if you're Ulverstone, who lays claim to it, you've got to get something from this game and work towards how you're going to beat this outfit ultimately. It's won there by Kelly of Ulverstone and just coughed up by Lanane at the inopportune moment. That'll be 50, I would have thought. That was just a bit silly.
I think that's the perfect way to describe it. No real need, was there?
I think that what you're probably seeing there is a frustrated player He isn't too pleased how the game's gone as Loeb just puts it on a platter. For young Lockie Kelly, he timed his run excellently, but you could see as soon as Lowe got the 50, he was not looking at the goal. He was like, okay, where's my hit up?
That's just a great connection, isn't it? He clearly knew the lead was going to come and where it was going to go. No chance to react for the defenders.
So Lockie Kelly. Too easy. Another on the board for the Magpies. They skip away. 14-12-96 now. Plays 4-4-28. Just a bit silly. He'll kick himself for that, I reckon, in due course, Kelly. And Kelly of the opposition ultimately is the one that makes them pay. Really slick stuff, Devonport. That's what the word I'd use to describe them, slick. They are a slick outfit. We're back in the middle once more.
One out again by the Magpies. It's Ryan able to get it onto the boot and send it out to the far side. Hands off to Keegan Lowe now. He streams inside 50. This time he goes for goal himself, sends it on its way. Just across the face there. But again, that's just how quick Devonport can move the ball out of the middle. Really is impressive. Not giving any chance for Ulverstone to set themselves as the kick comes out. Falls there to Jordan Kelly. He gives it off. Pressure comes again from the Magpies. A free kick for holding the ball. Goes the way of Braden Van Buren. And again, they'll have a chance to drop this one onto a target. The lead's coming, he sends it out in front. Once again, that's just easy as you like. Kai Cameron on the lead, he'll have a chance to add another.
Oh, it's like shelling peas at the moment, Devonport. Their use off the back half is terrific. When you got distributors like they do, their midfielders are rampaging through the middle of the ground, and then they've got some real class inside forward 50. Good luck.
Seen Cameron kick one from just about this spot earlier. Can he do it again? It's high and across the face. A good fly on the goal line, but bundled over the line for a behind in the end.
So it'll be Ulverstone from the last line. 13 minutes gone, third quarter. 70-point deficit. Blair, good kick. Finds Flanagan, turns and goes. A wobbler. Kicking for his ruckman, breezing through was Jet McGurk. He'll get a free kick. He was clipped high by Declan Lee. So it'll be Jet McGurk. Centre wing. Pokes a pass. Doesn't quite complete the transaction. Bryce DeVries. Good claim to the mark, but couldn't quite take it. So the ball will come in again. The Rucks to duke it out. Swatted down. On by Hazelwood. Drop it off for DeVries. He goes long inside forward 50. Murphy Cohen shielded his opponent really well. Turns and goals. Brilliant stuff. Luke Murphy Cohen. Key forward craft on show.
Good bodywork and a classy finish, wasn't it, from Murphy Cohen? He's threatened at times in this game. The ball hasn't been down there all that often, but certainly looked dangerous when it has been. And on this occasion, just worked his man under the ball perfectly. Couldn't take the mark, but didn't panic. Dribbled it through beautifully. And it's a couple of opportunistic goals for Ulverstone in this quarter just to keep them ticking the scoreboard over. Still a lot of work to do to get this back to something a little bit more respectable, but certainly not slowing their efforts.
Well, that's it. They've got to try and get something out of this game to bridge the gap between them and Devonport for when they next meet. That has to be the ambition from here as Elmer fights with Lenane out of the middle. This is better. Blizzard almost punched down by McGurk. It's a stoppage. Underneath that was Kelly. So up it goes again. DeVries in the ruck. Braden Van Buren pounces on a loose ball. Kicks towards 50, almost for Flanagan. Devonport breakaway. It's Elmer. It's almost too hot to handle for him. He steers it off the left peg, bouncing towards goal. And it'll be helped across the line by Jackson Hay. This time, not deliberate, which he's probably breathing a sigh of relief. And out comes Blair as, he misses his target, comes through, does low. All too easy. Steering ball off to the left. Had more time than he knew, I think, Keegan Lowe.
It just looked like it might have caught a bit of breeze there even. Just drifted off to the left. Expect Keegan Lowe to finish those ones, but that behind pushes Devonport past the 100-point mark, up by 66 points now as Ulverstone once again try to exit defensive 50. Don't quite get there, but they keep the ball. The hands back to Jackson Blair now. He's bursting through. Good long kick past the centre line, but it's picked off once again. Kynan Lee with the intercept, and he goes back. Finds a teammate in Reiki. They're just taking the sting out, although that kick goes straight into the man on the mark. Reiki forced to scramble. He gets it back. Hot steps it backwards, gets the handball over the top. Running into each other, their Devonport teammates. It's a rare mistake, and it's given Ulverstone the chance to come back inside 50, but Murphy Cohen couldn't quite reel it in. Some good pressure there from the Robins at least, making Devonport work hard and forcing a mistake. They'll have a chance now from the ball in to make something happen. So we're back into play now. Stalemate in the ruck, and the ball bounces around at ground level once again. Devonport player quickly claimed in a tackle there by two Robins. They'll go again with the ball up.
So 17 minutes gone in this third term, and it's all Devonport, but it's at the right end of the ground for Ulverstone. Just coming through is young Hazelwood. Kicked a beautiful goal earlier on today, just couldn't quite get his kick away. Devonport regroup, reload. It's Declan Lee kicking into the outer wing. De Vries wins it down. Bramich been a bit quieter this term. Enough to get his handball off. Kai Cameron up the ground, I think it is, as it's good handball inboard. All a bit too easy. Out of sight. Here's Van Buren, the skipper. A very nonchalant bounce, and he just pokes it straight through for a behind. Never looked like being a goal. Again, he had all the time in the world there. Almost too much time as Flanagan kicks beyond the arc. It'll come back straight away. Bramich inboard. Here he is, Caleb Van Buren. Rinse and repeat.
Maybe the old 7-point play for the co-captain here. As you say, on the run. Had plenty of time, but missed that last one. He'll have a chance directly in front on the set shot now. One of the many stars in this Devonport team who's really stood tall today and done a lot of damage. Chance to add further to that lead now as he strolls in. Caleb Van Buren sends it on its way. It's high. Across the face. Has that been claimed on the goal line, though? The crowd doesn't like it, but the mark's been paid there to Lockie Kelly. Looked like it was touch and go, but gets the benefit of the doubt. An interesting finish from Kelly. If the man on the mark was more aware, maybe he could have lifted one finger and gotten something on it, but Kelly just chips it over the top for the goal, and I guess whatever works, and that's another goal for Devonport.
Yeah, it's interesting that. Was it a mark? It looks it, I reckon. It's got to be a whole ball behind the goal line is the thing to remember. And I don't think for a second that was whole ball. So, well done. But the kick is, to be honest, it's a stinker. Just no one alive to it on the line. As casual as you'll ever see. But guess what? They all count the same. 6 points. And we're back in the middle again. Devonport storming home to a massive victory here at Ulverstone. one of the fancy teams to really give them some trouble this year. They've just flexed the muscle and said, good luck. It's in congestion once more. Quality outfit. The Devonport Footy Club. Ball goes up again. Butler wins his own ball off his hit out. It's well won by De Vries of the Braden variety. Kicks over the top. Finds Todman. Todman now. He's got options inboard if he wants to head that way. He does in the finish. Wants a target in Jonty De Vries. Kicks over the top, finds Linane. This is better ball movement and build up from Ulverstone. Linane now inside 50, all black and white. All black and white, and it'll be Kine and Lee. It's been pretty handy back there. Flies at the right times, comes in as that third man. Been darn good, as is this bloke, Keegan Lowe. Hands over the top, Byard. Byard now inside 50. Not quite. Kai Cameron still claims it. Pokey ball, too good. Lenny Douglas. Lenny Douglas has an option inside. Probably fancies going himself, you'd think.
I think so. It's on the right side for him. We know he can finish these kind of kicks.
So Douglas from the pocket. Screws it back. Another on the board for Douglas and Devonport. They are storming, marauding, launching towards a massive win in the JMC NWFL.
That connection between Cameron and Douglas again, isn't it? We've seen that a few times, and again, we've said it a bit about Devonport, but Kai Cameron probably well within his rights to pull the trigger and take a shot with a bit of time from about 40 out there, but instead lowered the eyes, found Lenny Douglas, and just about write it into the book when he gets it in the pocket there. Really clinical finisher. The ball's back in play now in the middle. Ulverstone got first hands, but again it's Keegan Lowe, winning it out and sending it inside 50. Ulverstone have the numbers, and it's Flanagan who comes away with it. That's a nice kick to Todman, edge of the centre square. He comes in board, finds another target in Braden De Vries. They've been good when they've slowed it down like this, although Blizzard fumbles there and has to go back and get it. Chips it down the wing, almost found his man, but Ryan did well to get back and defend. The problem for Ulverstone is they've been able to move the ball when they've slowed it down, but that just gives Devonport the time to get back and set up, and once they've got that defensive structure in place, they're really hard to break down.
Darn good football team, this Devonport outfit. It's De Vries, who won himself a free kick, was clipped high as he went down to win the ball. So up high, long, strong, over the back of everyone. A bouncing ball eludes everyone. It might be Hazelwood. There he is, soccering. Lux of Fortune, Murphy Cohen, but there's a whistle. And it's going to Devonport. When it's not your day, it's not your day. Murphy Cohen filthy on that one.
Doesn't look impressed, does he?
Filthy. This it'll come from deep in defence. It's Spears who steers it out wide. Just to lose Van Buren. It'll be thrown in. Sun-drenched Ulverstone Rec Ground. Comes in, drifts in that wind. Tipped over the back. Ryan onto it. Hands it off. It's Lee. Gets it down the lines. Towering over the top. For Ulverstone, I think he might have caused some mischief with his own teammate there.
A little bit of friendly fire in the contest. Hopefully nothing too serious.
He's I don't know whether it's the contest or what's happened here, but that Hazelwood not moving well. Ryan straight through traffic. Look at that. Has cut through. Elmer now. Away he goes. One bounce, two bounce. Over the top. Inside 50, Devonport. Kai Cameron. Waste no time. Inside. Keegan Lowe. Same names. Continue to chop it up. They're on fire.
It's just copy and paste at times, isn't it? Ryan bursting out of the stoppage. Elmer showing some dash. Cameron leading and then giving it off to a teammate. And Keegan Lowe has had a mountain of the footy here.
It's probably the one bit he hasn't executed today is on goal. Kicked a terrific goal for Tasmania recently. Keegan Lowe, every bit of 40 metres. That's the ticket. Keegan Lowe, the leader in this Devonport outfit, steers it home, and he has had a mountain of the footy. Devonport have been simply too good today at Ulverstone. This from Kai Cameron, the unselfish nature of the dynamic key forward that he is. Straight away looks inboard, and Lowe does the job. But it was all started, instigated by Blair Ryan through traffic, that burst. He just went straight through them. Terrific footy.
Yeah, they've obviously got a lot of footballing talent, but there's some serious athletes in this Devonport lineup as well, and their speed has been on full display at times today. As again, the ball's up in the middle. Tough contest in there, but it's Ulverstone who get it out. Braden DeVries sends it inside 50 to a contest. Brought down to ground by the Devonport defender, and he does well to get a kick away. They've had every answer so far, and again they come flying through the middle. Harry Elmer takes the bounce again. A sweeping handball over the top. Finds Keegan Lowe. He strolls in. Another shot on goal from Keegan Lowe, and he drills his second in the space of a minute. Again, those stars standing tall for Devonport. And it's the finishing touches from Keegan Lowe.
Well, I looked down at my phone to check the stats, and I missed a Devonport goal, to be honest. So that's sort of
and that's
express pace in which they broke from end to end.
And that's the thing. It went all the way down the opposite end, but they just broke away so quickly on the rebound. Elmer's been fantastic, and then classy finish from Keegan Lowe once again. And tell you what, I thought Keegan Lowe was slow by his standards to work into the game, but
his numbers would be bonkers now. He's
That'd
had
be
a lot of the ball. As is Elmer. He's an impressive young player, Harry Elmer. Has those VFL traits, I reckon.
100%.
Make the grade at a higher level. It's Van Buren in the middle. Coming through is Slatter. Gets it on the boot. Good defensive grab. They've been good back there as well as the other thing. Siren sounds as we turn for home. It is a whopping big lead for the visitors. Devonport 18-17, 125. Lead Ulverstone 5-4-34. The reigning premiers show why they are top dogs in the JMC NWFL.
There's no question about that at this stage, is there? This was a top-of-the-table clash, the two last undefeated teams in the league, but it's been the Magpies who have made all the running here. Ulverstone's best efforts haven't been enough to slow them down. We've said it before, but the Robins really just need to try and find some positives in this last quarter, something that they can take away for their matchup next week and next time they come up against Devonport, because they've certainly been struggling to keep up so far today.
It's hard to keep up with the rampaging Magpies as we see some of the highlights from the third term, a term in which they absolutely dominated. They kicked, I'm just looking at the score, almost 50 points in that term, 49-point quarter. Absolute shellacking. And winners right across the board. I've loved the games of Harry Elmer and Keegan Lowe. Blair Ryan's been good. The Kelly boys. Castle's Bride early. Douglas been strong. Kai Cameron. So much to like. So much to like.
Can't really find anyone down their entire list who hasn't done their job, can you?
No.
They've been rock solid at worst and electric at best.
I think the message as we have a brief break before getting into this last quarter is this is the standard, boys. Do your best to meet it, and we'll see you in September. We'll have a break now and be back for the last quarter and see what Ulverstone can get out of this contest.
React for the defenders.
So Lockie Kelly. Too easy. Another on the board.
Hands off to Keegan Lowe now. He streams inside 50. This time he goes for goal himself. Sends it on its way. Just across the face there. But again, and again, they'll have a chance to drop this one onto a target. The lead's coming. He sends it out in front. Once again, that's just easy as you like. Can he do it again? It's high and across the face. A good fly on the goal line, but bundled over the line.
Flanagan turns and goes. A wobbler. Kicking for his ruckman. Breezing through was Jet McGurk. He'll get a free kick. Swatted down. One by Hazelwood. Drop it off for Dev Rees. He goes long inside forward 50. Murphy Cohen shielded his opponent really well. Turns and goals. Almost too hot to handle for him. He steers it off the left peg. Bouncing towards goal. And it'll be helped. His target comes through. Does low. All too easy. Steering ball off to the left. Had more time than he knew, I think. And the skipper. A very nonchalant bounce, rather, and he just pokes it straight through for a behind. Almost too much time as Flanagan kicks beyond the arc. It'll come back straight away. Bramich inboard. Here he is, Caleb Van Buren.
Caleb Van Buren sends it on its way. It's high. Across the face. Has that Kelly. Looked like it was touch and go, but gets the benefit of the doubt.
Oh!
An interesting fit.
Not quite. Kai Cameron still claims it. Pokey ball. Too good. Lenny Douglas. So Douglas from the pocket. Screws it back. Another on the board for Douglas and Devonport. Who's everyone? It might be Hazelwood. There he is, soccering. Lux of Fortune, Murphy Cohen, but there's a whistle. And it's going to Devonport. And it's Kai Cameron. Waste no time inside. Keegan Lowe. Same names recently. Keegan Lowe, every bit of 40 metres. That's the ticket. Keegan Lowe.
Ground by the Devonport defender, and he does well to get a kick away. They've had every answer so far, and again they come flying through the middle. Harry Elmer takes the bounce again. A sweeping handball over the top. Finds Keegan Lowe. He strolls in. Another shot on goal from Keegan Lowe, and he drills his second in the space of a minute. Again, those...
Did you say puppy? Come back, buddy.
Back for the last quarter. Devonport lead this ball game. 18-17, 125 to 5-4-34. James C. NWFL footy. What can Ulverstone muster from the game? Came into this contest undefeated. But they've run into a brick wall. Quick smart. Devonport flexed their muscle so far. The contest. Farm out a handball. It's almost moved forward for the Robins. Good defensive work by Claridge. He's claimed in a Castle's tackle. A little bit of niggle. It's Castle brought down off the footy. It's one down by Lee. Helped out by Bayard. Almost there for Douglas. gathered well by Flanagan. Little handball pops up for Roots. Couldn't quite work out. Ryan comes through. Front of the stoppage. There's a throw, you would have thought, and it would be an Elmer ball. Geez, he's been prolific today. Hear the crowd tell him he should be just looking at the goals.
It's not been the first instinct for the Magpies a lot of the time, has it, from these kind of positions, looking for a teammate, but we know that he can kick it from here.
Harry Elmer goes out to the right to get the extra distance, and in the process, sacrificed accuracy offline. Minor score.
Ulverstone will try to work their way through this traffic once again. Kick there finds Lachlan Claridge. He wants to go back across goal. Tries to do so, but absolutely burns his teammate in Williams. Straight over his head. Kai Cameron was right onto that to lay some pressure, and all of a sudden, Devonport have a chance to reload and go again from the ball in. We've seen so far in this game how dangerous they've been in these situations. As it comes back in, a little tap there from Butler. Didn't go where he needed it to, and the kick comes out from Jackson Blair. But that one...
over the fence.
Not just out of bounds, but into the front yard of the next door neighbour.
The breeze must be doing a bit there. Yeah, look in the background. Just enough. So they'll fetch the footy. Spectator doing his job. Shields his eyes. Pokey little ball. Geez, if it's 15, it's only just. Umpire does his job and calls play on. Byard back inboard. Almost for Elmer. Out through hands. Ryan now swung in a tackle. Brought to ground. Will be brought up again. Umpire Clark always does a good job. Butler at the front. Stoppage. It's well won by Ulverstone. They power it into their half. It's all black and white though. Doing well was McGurk. Made a contest of it. But Bramich now has reinforcements. He goes back to Lee. Lee kicks and finds Elmer. Harry Elmer inside 50 onto the lead of Kai Cameron. He's just too quick off the mark. And the delivery is just too good.
That's it, isn't it? He's doing such a good job of shaking his defender just about every time he makes a move, and to the credit of his teammates, they've hit him right on the chest every single time, I think.
So Kai Cameron skips beyond 50, sends his kick on the way, and a minor score. So that's the only thing today that could have been a lot worse as Blair kicks out, finds Flanagan. 18-19 is a lot of scoring shots. Flanagan goes back inside. This one works better than the last. So they switch it up. Now with Braden DeVries. And he finds a teammate. Play on's the call. Good pressure from Cameron. Ryan now wins the ball. Hands it off. Byard. Inside. Forster. Slipping through. Van Buren almost. From Braden to Caleb. Caleb now skips beyond 50. Sends his kick goalward. Just hangs up. Minor score.
Ulverstone just having to work so hard to even get outside their defensive 50. We saw on that occasion, went one way, switched back the other, and at the end of it, Devonport still able to force the turnover. We'll see what they can do here. Again, that chip kick comes into the pocket. The Magpies happy to give that one up. It's Flanagan again with the footy, but where's his next option? He sends it high and long. And again, it's just easy pickings. Zach Derrico on this occasion. There's a man wide open inside 50, but he kicks it into traffic. Has to go back and get it again. Hands out to Castles, who chips it inside 50 into a hole. There's no one there. But that's a brilliant tackle looked like Ulverstone might have the chance to finally get some easy ball in their defensive 50. But instead it's Lenny Douglas pouncing, earning himself another free kick back from his trusty left forward pocket. Seen him finish from here before. He swings around again, works that one back, just not quite enough. Drifts across the face. As you say, a lot of goals for Devonport, a lot of opportunities gone begging as well.
Well, that's just it. It's been a, let's not mince words, it's been an afternoon out, but they could have absolutely dined out. So we wait for a football. Crucial ingredient of the game. So a very relaxed kick there from Flanagan. Finds a target in Williams. Williams, pokey ball, looking for Slater, just in trouble the moment it got to him. And that's been a bit of a trend for Ulverstone. They just can't link up. They just can't get the kick mark game going. They've been under the pump. So down from the rucks. Bryce DeVries, he kicks, and that was a nice fly from Kelly. Takes a good grab edge of the square. Kelly, long, high, searching. Murphy Cohen, the only target. He comes in late, put body pressure on, but the Magpies had an army there. They could just negotiate it and then just link up. All a bit too good. Ball from Tyson into the middle. It was a good one to Lee, and now it's off from the runners, and it's a free target inside 50 in Douglas. The sun probably got in the way of him. Now comes to Elmer. Elmer squeezes a shot out. Just hasn't got the trip. Come back from Blair. Blair again misses his intended target in Slater. Will be thrown on in. 8 minutes gone in this, the last quarter. Showdown between Ulverstone and Devonport in the JMC NWFL.
First touch again for the Magpies. Linane swooped in to try and snatch it away, but he's set upon by two defenders. Go again. It's a tough tussle in there, but in the end, it's Reiki who gets the ball out. Elmer shrugs off one tackle, gives the handball back. Kurt Mason scruffs it over towards Lowe. He looks to have a lot of time here. Grabs it and steadies, looks for an option, instead goes for goal. And that's another clinical finish from Keegan Lowe. We've lost track of how many touches he's had in this game. He's made some impact on the scoreboard. He really is a superstar of this competition.
Oh, his video game numbers at this point, he's been unbelievable. But helped when you got this much space and time. And when you're that good a player, you make it count. We know he's kicked 3 in this second half. Been just so good.
Averaging 43 disposals a game so far this year, and I'd have to imagine he's pushing that number again in this contest.
Well, I reckon he's probably cleared it, if I was to guess, or he will clear it. So we're back in the middle again. Lee doesn't win this one. It's an Ulverstone ball. This is better. DeVries kicking towards a target and well led out. It's the same name, Bryce variety. He kicks towards a target and Murphy Cohen. He's behind in the foot race. Coming through was Hazelwood, couldn't quite. On hands and knees was Byard. Squeezing out a kick there was Derrico. Derrico almost for Cameron. Here he is, Keegan Lowe. One bounce. Kicks towards 50. He's got Castles and Douglas. Douglas off his chest. Thank you very much. Pounces. And piles on another. Piles on another. Does Lenny Douglas. Terrific game from him. Terrific individual game. All set up by Keegan Lowe. Searching ball. He took the mark anyway, but played on and puts it through. So, an incredibly healthy margin now. Jacob Dool. As we get our noise back from the ground.
Again there from Keegan Lowe. How good was the weight on that kick? Just perfectly over the defenders and onto the chest of Douglas, as we're off and running again here. And again, it's Keegan Lowe chasing that ball. Just gets away from him. That opens the door for Ulverstone. Eli Blizzard tries to drill one inside 50 to Hazelwood, who collects well on the bounce, but he's brought down quickly. And illegally, says the umpire. A dangerous tackle there. Zach Hazelwood, the ball in the pocket. He's had some good moments up against a lot of pressure in this game. See what he can do from here. Certainly won't be the easiest of kicks. Deep in the pocket. Hazelwood sends it on its way. It looks like it'll fall short to the top of the square. No one able to pull it down, but it's Devonport who win it away at ground level. Quick kick rolls outside the defensive 50, and again, they're just right onto it. A good tackle from Liam Flanagan. He wins a free kick. They're still battling hard here, Ulverstone, and Flanagan, well, that's not the kick he was looking for, and Devonport will clear it out once again.
It'll come back quick smart, though. The skipper, Blair, gleefully takes an intercepting grab. His kick is not a great one, though. Couldn't be gathered by Forster, so they'll have a ball up and an opportunity inside 50. Ulverstone. Dropped to the ground. Squeezed out by Devonport in defence. It's handed out by Kelly. A web of handballs is with Byard. Now with Lee. Lee, a powering ball, just invites a runner in Douglas. Gets a fingertip to it. Almost for Todman. Paddling towards the line. He's got Bramage to negotiate. He'll take the line. Be thrown on in. Wrong end for the hosts. Right end for the black and white. They've piled on 20 goals already. Geez, that one didn't go far, courtesy of the breeze. Have another crack at things. Kai Cameron in the ruck. Look out for a little Tommy Hawkins effort. He couldn't get in good body position with Cruz. His kick finds Kelly. Kelly feigned to go across. In the end, kicks down the line for De Vries, who keeps it alive. Hazelwood now. Couldn't quite gather. Devonport through hands. Ryan. And then Mason. And now inside forward 50. Kai Cameron the target over his head. Gathers. Shakes off one. Ryan squeezes out a handball. Cut off now by De Vries. He gets it. Steadying kick now with Hay.
Hay takes a moment here to just reassess. Looking for an option long. He looks like he'll load up. No, gives the handball away. That's Blizzard who gives it right back. Jackson Hay tries to chisel a kick down the line. Only finds Blair Ryan. Another intercept for the Magpies. They really have been an impenetrable wall across that half-back line, although that ball's given straight back up to Eli Blizzard for an intercept of his own. What can he do with it? Just chips a little one down the line, finds a teammate. A moment for the Robins to take their breath here. Another chipping ball, and again, straight into the hands of Blair Ryan. He's got magnets for hands at the moment. The ball's just finding him as he chips it inside to Harry Elmer. Quick handball off, and now the Magpies will go. It's a long kick. Inside 50 to a 2-on-2. A big fly at the front, but instead it falls out the back. Douglas tracks it down, gives the handball off to Caleb Van Buren. Back to Douglas. What can he do? Dances one way, snaps around the corner, and that is just as easy as you like from Lenny Douglas. That's his pocket. He's made it his own today, and he kicks another one.
Oh, he's been unbelievable today, Lenny Douglas. Just has that innate goal sense. Makes him such a dangerous player. The 1-2 there with Caleb Van Buren, as we'll see on the replay. And it just gave him enough time to screw around and kick a beautiful goal. Crafty, dangerous, dominating today is that man, Lenny Douglas. 21-21, 147. Devonport Magpies, 5-4-34 Ulverstone. And their grasp on this JMC NWFL Premiership that they've had for recent history, it looks like it's going to be hard to surrender off them. So it's down from Butler. Almost there. Here's Ryan. Off now for Byard. Now with Lowe. Tries to dance by one. A rare mistake from Lowe. It was tapped out of his hands. Just paddle along there by De Vries. It'll be a free kick to the Magpies. That man, Kynan Lee. Been pretty nifty back there. Kicks towards centre half forward. Ryan, outsized but not outdone. Does well. Impressive player, Ryan. He puts this one inside 50. Good kick. Lenny Douglas had acres of space. Almost too much time. Off for Elmer. Elmer squeezes out a kick. Oh, my. Harry Elmer. That is a hell of a goal. Beautiful finish from the youngster. And it's party time for Devonport. Get out the hundreds and thousands. They are just piling them on now. As we see this on the replay screen, Jacob Dool, hell of a finish.
The mistake from Douglas put him under a little bit of pressure, but just threw it on the boot and never looked like missing from the tight angle. Everything he's touched turned to gold today, Harry Elmer, and he's touched it a lot.
He absolutely has, and Lowe straight out of the middle, cops one on the bonce for his troubles. Almost for Ryan. Fighting on hands and knees there was De Vries. You ball up again. I hope Lowe's okay. Yeah, he looks okay. Just as he was disposing of the footy. Got one for his troubles. Up it goes once more. Swatted down by the big Ulverstone ruck, and it's squeezed out by Hay. Here's Ryan. Using that turn of foot. Gets it out. Handball over the top. Elmer. Bounces off one. Coming through well was De Vries, but unfortunately just couldn't dispose of it. It'll be a Devonport ball once again. The sheer weight of numbers has been quite extraordinary in this contest. 119-point advantage. It's Declan Lee now. Swings it inside forward 50. Almost for Elmer, just ran out of tarmac. Be thrown on in. That's a shocker return throw from Elmer.
It's his worst disposal of the day by a fair way there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're dead right. Impressive outfit. Comes in again. The big rucks go out. Byer couldn't believe his luck. Thought he was going to run into an open goal. Not quite today as Blair swings it out of defence. And Magpies will live to fight another day. It's where 19 and change gone in this last quarter. This JMC NWFL clash. As the ball comes in. Drop down. Hazelwood, who kicked a ripper earlier on, paddles it. It's one by Lee. And it was snavelled by the opposition, and it'll be an Ulverstone ball as they look to repel through Todman.
Todman turns it straight back over to Reiki, who wastes no time in moving on by hand. That one's just over Keegan Lowe's head, although he follows up well to keep it alive. Good defensive pressure as Cameron comes in to lay a tackle as well. That ball's still alive. Ryan flicks it out. Finds Bramich, who throws it on the boot. That one's floating towards goal. Just cut off at the last line of defence by Jackson Blair. He's worked hard back there. Finds a target with the kick, but it's from here that Ulverstone have really struggled. Devonport happy to give them possession back on their own goal line, but where do they go from there? Go to the opposite pocket this time.
And even the switch, it hasn't worked for them, has it?
I think Devonport are just happy to let them have it and then close down any options further afield.
So Williams goes back to Lanane, who just overshoots his kick for Blair. It's out in the full. So Quade Byard ball. Experienced campaigner, Quade. Sends his kick toward goal. He's lucky to register a score there, I reckon. Just sneaks home. Minor score. Jeez, they've had some scoring shots, Devonport. For full-back again, Jackson Blair. He's had a fair few. He's had at least 22 touches, I reckon, as it's come out. It's a good kick for DeVries. DeVries almost. It was cut off by Low, but he couldn't quite bring it under his spell. Now with a rare bit of spreading via handball. Doesn't quite work out for Ulverstone. Here's Low. Low inside forward 50 now. Cameron the target. Almost in his hands. It was cut off by Roots. Now picked up by Douglas, swinging toward goal. Stays alive. Here's that man Blair again. Off his right boot, pokey ball, good enough. Finds Hazelwood.
Again, Devonport able to slow things down here, but Hazelwood finds a target. Gets the ball off to Hay. Another one who's given a pretty good account for the most part. Sends a low ball. Again, it's that man Keegan Lowe cutting it off. He's just everywhere at the moment. Looks for an option inside 50 and now sends it in there. Well spoiled by Flanagan. He's got some support, but the Magpies won't let them get away that easily, and they'll force another stoppage just inside their attacking 50. We come up on 23 minutes gone here in this fourth quarter. Devonport look to push that margin out even further as the ball goes up and straight down onto the head of Cruz, who his kick goes nowhere. It ends up now with Ryan, who sends a high ball back towards the goal. Who can get to the drop of it? Of course, Kai Cameron can get to the drop of it. Getting his hands on absolutely everything inside 50 today.
Well, you run out of superlatives at this point, don't you? The footy that Devonport have played, even when it's not clean and when it's not deliberate, they're just smart in their positioning, and he's just such a clever player, an athletic player is Cameron. So Cameron, all of 25 metres, leans back on the kick, makes no mistake. They're 23rd of the afternoon, 23-22, 160. Plays Ulverstone 5-4-34. Who did lead at one point in the first term. From there, it sparked Devonport in action. They kicked the next two in the blink of an eye, and they did not look back. Piled on the pain.
It's been a big day out, hasn't it? And I think most impressive is just the way that they've shared the love around. You know, no one player has kicked a huge bag, but they've had all of their forwards get in on the action, and it's resulted in them kicking a massive score as they get it out of the middle once again. Ulverstone defence under pressure. Can't quite collect. Elmer gets the handball out. Gets it to Charlie Castles. He rolls through another one in quick time. And it's all too easy for Devonport at the moment.
Well, it's crazy efficient out of the middle. Declan Lee, Ruckman became rover, brought it out. And then it was just, yeah, very flashy stuff. And Elmer good. So you see this. I think it came off the Bonser Forster, and he just helped himself, trickled over the back. Bit of luck here, but oh no, actually just Elmer just clean. Castle's right place, right time. Thank you very much. Another goal. Another multiple goal kicker in Castles. 25 and change gone. And Ulverstone, it feels like it's just hanging in for the siren now as it's Lee out of the middle again. And it's this man, Jackson Blair, who's had a fair bit of the footy. I'm going to say he'd prefer to have less of it. DeVries kicking towards Flanagan. Flanagan did well. This kick Meant for the big man in Cruz. Didn't quite get there. Oh, crafty from Hazelwood. Works out okay in the end. Claridge towards Hazelwood. Hazelwood now. Inboard kick. Murphy Cohen, one juke. Couldn't get the other one to it. Shoved aside. Devonport repel. Keegan Lowe almost. He's picked up there by Hay. Hay looking towards Murphy Cohen. Couldn't grab it. Black and white everywhere. Swarming. Oh, well done. Ulverstone player underneath all that. In DeVries. Did well to make that contest. Umpire keeps it moving. The big man out there in Bryce DeVries. Whacks it on the boot. Minor score. Devonport waste no time. It's with Caleb Van Buren, the skipper. Not sure who he meant that kick for, but Lux of Fortune means it comes that way via Ryan, who dropped it off to the crafty Low. Kicked inside forward 50 to find Butler to put the cherry on top of an incredible victory from this fearsome Devonport outfit. 45 metres out. Butler to put the icing on the cake. And he does it, or touched on the line. So effort to the last minute for Ulverstone. A minor score for Devonport. Matters little, to be perfectly honest. They win it by 132 points. A whopping 47 scoring shots to 10. That is a statement from the reigning premier. Says they mean business. And it says to the competition, catch us if you can.
It does, and there was no doubt that Devonport were the premiership favourites coming into this game, but up against another undefeated team, first versus second, away from home, you never quite know what might happen. Well, I think we know for sure now what happens when you go up against Devonport, and for the entire competition to this point, it's been you get run over the top of. It's a long season left, but certainly setting the benchmark are the Magpies early on.
Well, they started the year well. They have started the year well, Ulverstone. The facts are the facts, but they got steamrolled today. And they'll lick their wounds and come again. And I think when they review the tape and look through it, we're just looking to see whether game plan next time, what they can do to try and arrest some momentum and ascendancy against this team that just from stoppage is so formidable. They just march it out of the middle, and there would have been a lot of centre bounce goals today and a lot of stoppage goals, but also a lot of goals from forward handball. They're a connected team, this Devonport outfit. Good players across everything. This was a hell of a goal from Elmer.
Tough to pick a goal of the day, but I think that has to be it. There were some seriously good finishes.
Good goals across the board. This bloke had a good day, Kai Cameron. Lenny Douglas, terrific. Keegan Lowe, we've waxed lyrical about him. He's one of the premier players in the state.
We'll wait and see what the disposal count is. Do you think it might be his second 50 piece of the year?
Yeah, there's a chance he raises the bat, I reckon. Harry Elmer, too, had a lot of the ball. Good players across every line. Impressive game from a seriously good football team. And Ulverstone, as I say, they'll have to lick their wounds and live to fight another day and learn what they can from this one and try and shape up for the rest of the season just to bridge that gap, because that's what it's going to be all about. Everyone in this JMC NWFL competition is chasing the pace setters, Devonport.
Yeah, I think Ulverstone, if you'd offered them at the start of the year a 5-1 record at this point, I think they would have grabbed it with both hands and run with it. But it's just the way that this game's unfolded that's been a bit of a reality check for them. They'll know what they need to work on. They'll hope to do that in the rest of the season, and they're still in a pretty strong position to attack from. But as we've said time and time again, Devonport are the standard. They're going to have to try and find a way to lift to that.
They will indeed. Thank you for joining us today on the JMC NWFL live stream. It's been our pleasure to call all the action. A whopping win from the Devonport Magpies, 24-23, 167 to Ulverstone 55-35, a 132-point win by the pace setters on the northwest coast. Thanks for joining us for the coverage. We'll join you again soon. Bye for now.